Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Happy Thursday to you ladies and gentlemen. A reminder that tomorrow on Friday we're going to have our 4 p.m. live stream. 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So hope to see you all there. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of doom and gloom. In all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep beating this dead horse. If you think that all we cover here is doom and gloom or just infomercials, then please make sure that you have a happy life, but just go watch some other videos, all right? If you want to watch cat videos, etc., right? Other than that, I am going to talk about something today that I actually brought up. I think it might have been in my doom and gloom video that I put up yesterday or the day before. Hamas attacks are a reminder that sleeper cells are crossing southern border. Expert warns. They're already here, he says. This is what I talked about, ladies and gentlemen. And forgive me, I'm kind of senile because I don't even remember if it was yesterday's video or the day before where people were fear-mongering me to death, where I said, arm yourselves. You need to be armed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so serious about this. We have so many things going on in life, so many things going on in the world. I believe I was talking to my wife earlier today about this, and it was about the end of civilizations. And I told her, I think we're almost at the end of this civilization because there are so many things that can happen at one time. There are so many things that can happen here or there or somewhere else around the world, or the sun may have a CME and engulf the earth. All of our technology can be shut down with an EMP. We can be attacked by sleeper cells that are already here in the United States of America. But what's the best thing that we can do as preparedness-minded individuals is exactly that. Be prepared. Continue to live your life, but be as prepared as you can. And without this information, ladies and gentlemen, then how are you going to know that there is a threat out there? Right? I'm sure that you're hearing it from all over the place. I try not to watch any YouTube videos that have to do with stuff that I'm going to talk about today because I don't want to just keep saying the same thing over and over again. But I do know just by watching YouTube videos in general that there's a whole bunch of videos out there that is talking about this. Well, I'm not talking about the attack on Israel. I'm talking about the attack here in the United States that can occur at any time. Do you really think that there aren't sleeper cells in here in the United States? Do you really think that they're not waiting for the opportune time and or the order by their country to go ahead and do terrible things to the American people or the American infrastructure that will cost lives here in the U.S.? And here they say thousands of illegal aliens considered potential national security threats have been arrested at the border for the past 2 years. The question should be this: how many have actually made it past the border and are now living here in these United States? That's the question that should be asked, ladies and gentlemen. And what are their intentions? And I just find it hard to believe that after seeing the atrocities that have occurred in Israel from the people that invaded them, that people would still say, oh, I don't want to get a firearm to protect my family. The police will take care of it. When the police are needed, ladies and gentlemen, how does it go? When the police are needed in seconds, they're but minutes away. That's not their fault. That's the system's fault. But that is the truth. Over 1,000 Israelis have lost their lives due to Hamas terrorists who stormed across the country's southern border over the weekend. And one immigration expert told Fox News Digital, it's a reminder the U.S. southern border is vulnerable to crossings of terrorists, meaning that the southern border is completely open and anyone that wants to do harm to the people of the United States are able to come through without having to show anything. Why? Because the border is open, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately. Particularly the 1.7 million known gotaways. So there's been 1.7 million people that have crossed into the United States that we don't know who they are. They are gotaways. They are people that they tried to apprehend, but who got away. Those who evaded the Border Patrol because they didn't want to be fingerprinted because they're either known or suspected terrorists themselves, convicted aggravated felons, smuggling drugs, or some combination thereof. Those are exactly the people that we want here in the U.S., right, ladies and gentlemen? So when you combine 1.7 million with the 7.4 million CBP has encountered, we have to assume that the sleeper cells of terrorists are here inside the U.S. and Congress needs to wake up and preempt. Congress ain't gonna do nothing. The reason that our form of governance exists, ladies and gentlemen, is so that we can have checks and balances. And before Congress can do anything, it'll probably be months, if not more than a year, before they can do anything. And that's if the president doesn't veto it, because he wants to leave the borders open. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in a civilization where the end is near. Are you preparing? Because even at the end of civilizations, there are still people that make it through to the next and or new paradigm. I'll go ahead and finish it off with this short segment, and I will leave the link to this on a pinned comment so that you can revisit it, ladies and gentlemen. Rise, who has over 26 years experience in the immigration and homeland security field and served as DHS acting deputy chief of staff, told Fox News Digital that she is concerned about sleeper cells in the U.S. waking up. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to be prepared to fight that wolf when it comes at your door. Be prepared for that. Someone is not going to come and save you, ladies and gentlemen. That's the fact. This is not gloom and doom. This is not fear mongering. This is the truth. Are you going to wait for someone to come and save you? Especially if you're in one of those border states or near a border state. We have been invaded already. It's already happened. And already with pro-Hamas protests in the U.S. this week in New York City and elsewhere, that was a very public signal to say, yes, we are here. And if the U.S. acts to support Israel in the Middle East, then there will be a response here, Rise says. Now let's hope that does not come to be. They don't need to fly in their Mad Max devices like they did this past weekend in Israel, Rise said. They're already here. And that I have to agree with, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you agree with this evaluation as well. Why? Because the probability about sleeper cells being in the United States of America is very real. More than likely, they are already here and they are just waiting. Let's see what happens. Let's hope nothing happens and we can just continue to live our everyday lives. But be awake. Keep your head on a swivel. Know what's going on in your community. And for goodness sakes, get prepared and get armed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for staying to this part of the video. I wanted to go over a couple of things. And the first is, if I show something or I promote something that's not made here in the US, but you know of a company that makes it that's here in the US, please share their name or a link or whatever you can with me so that I can check them out. And someone did that. I think it was on the last video, yesterday's video or the day before. Someone actually went ahead and sent me the name of a water reverse osmosis filtration company that's here in the US, so I checked them out and I just want to share with you. And as you can see here, this is their website, Apec Water, and they have whole house water filters. They specialize in water filtration systems, and if you take a look down, they have pretty decent stuff. It looks like reverse osmosis systems that are direct, that you don't have a tank or tankless. Let's see. America, all right? So I try to figure out what this sticker says, but all I can make out is that it says America. It doesn't say made in America or anything like that. But I figured out, I could only figure out that it says America. And let's see, #1 U.S. manufacturer of reverse osmosis water systems. And it says U.S. manufacturer, #1, okay? So I just kept looking into this company because if it is a company that makes water filtration systems here in America, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not trying to deceive the public into that they do. Like I remember a really long time ago, and I think this was like in the 70s or the 80s, I read something about this a while back, where some company here in the US, they bought a small island and they named the island USA. USA, with no periods in between. So they named their island USA and they started making things out of this island, and they said made in USA, made in USA, but with no periods in between, standing for United States of America. So I don't blame Apec for not having the things that they use to put their product together made in the US, But I do blame them for making people think that their product is completely made in the US when they're not. Remember, this is my opinion, okay? Because I don't want to get sued. This is the internet. But from my opinion, it looks like they promote that their stuff is made all in the USA, and when it's not. It's manufactured in the USA, meaning that it's put together here in the USA. But let's take a look at some of their things. So you see, they sell things that are very similar to what Simpure sells. And Simpure, ladies and gentlemen, is made in China. But where are the parts for Apec made? Well, go ahead and figure it out for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I already have. But anyways, they sell things that are similar. I mean, this is a plug-and-play reverse osmosis water filtration system, and the price is not very bad at all. It says here that you have to be a member in order to get it at this price. I'm not sure what that means. I haven't tried to sign up or anything like that, but I have to say that the price is really not a bad price for that. Here is a different kind that they have, and this one here is a little more expensive. But if they are quality water filtration systems, I don't think that's a terrible price at all. And here is the tank reverse osmosis system that they have. And you can see here that the prices aren't terrible, ladies and gentlemen. But then again, are you really getting what you think you're paying for, which is a product that is completely made here in the United States of America? That's up to you to decide, ladies and gentlemen, all right? In this case here, I did a little bit of homework. And if you take a look at this right here, I'll go ahead and leave the link to this if you like it. And it says here that one of the challengers' position is that Apec misled consumers with claims that its RO water filters are of domestic origin. All right, that's the claim. All right, not saying anything because I really don't know what happened with this, but this was back in 2017, and you can come and read this for yourselves. Is it a big deal? I don't think it's a big deal at all. If you want to buy water filters from Apec, then by all means, ladies and gentlemen, go buy an RO system from Apec. I'll leave their link as well. All right, but get an RO water filtration system. And I really do thank the person that mentioned this in a comment, because that's what I need to know. If you find something, please send it to me in a link to my email and put like "Made in America" in all caps on a subject so I can look into it. And I would have loved nothing more than for this company to be like 100% American made, and for me to contact them and say, hey, can you send me a couple of your water filters so that I can review them for you and send you business. I would have loved nothing more than that, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is that I understand, you know, the world that we live in now is somewhat globalized. It's turning back to a nationalized world, but it's somewhat globalized, meaning that a lot of the stuff that we purchase, whether we like it or not, is going to be made outside of our borders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be 100% upfront with you about Patriot Switch or Switch with AP. I saw a comment there that said something like, very nice person, by the way. So thank you very much for leaving a comment saying that this is a multi-level marketing thing. And as soon as I read that, I went to my representative, because I've been doing this for like almost 10 months, ladies and gentlemen. Either late February or early March is when I made my first purchase. Now, let me tell you why I started doing this, because the things that are made by this company is things that are made here in the United States of America. I think about 99% of the things that are made here in the US, and then there's some things made in Canada. And I do believe that the coffee that they make is outside of the US that they grow, but they own and manage that land, all right? And they don't rape the land or rape the people there by paying them starving wages and stuff like that. I've actually looked into that stuff. Now, yes, there is a minimum monthly amount that you have to spend, which is not that much. For me, it's turned out to be anywhere between like 60, 70 bucks. I've spent as much as 140 bucks before because I wanted to try their things that I haven't tried before. All right, so that's what this is. This is trying to switch over to those basic items that you use on an everyday basis and keeping the money here in the United States with a company that cares about America and that is not beholden to ESG or the United Nations. That is my goal. Now, if you want to have a side hustle and turn it into that, you can, but that's not how I'm promoting this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm promoting this because your dollars stay here in the US with things that are made here in the US and are not told to you that, hey, this is being made here in the US, when in fact all of the ingredients or all of the stuff that they're using to make it is made somewhere else and then they put it together here. And yes, I will put your mind at ease and I will answer your question before you even ask it. AP, are you going to make money off of this? Yes, I am. In the long run, I have not made a penny off of this at all. But in the long run, I will make some money off of this. I'm not sure even how much it is, but it'll be a very small percentage of whatever the purchases are. But ladies and gentlemen, the main point is this. I want to switch to buying American as much as I can. I won't be able to stop buying stuff from Amazon or Costco because there are things that we still need, that we consume, that are not made in the US. I'm sure it's the same for you. All I know is that about 3 million families do this now, and there's 160 million families in the US. So there's still 157 million families in the US that are getting all of their stuff that they use on an everyday basis from a company that could care less about them or this country. The decision is yours. I hope that you keep it here in the US, but if you don't, I understand. As I stated on one of my very first videos where I introduced Switch with AP, I said, this is not for everyone, and this is not for everyone. Having said that, I hope you have a great day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.